Bettinardi just teased the release of a new wedge, correct?
Our new wedge just launched about a month ago, the HLX 6s. Really, really exciting. This is the 5th generation of wedges. We started in 2015. I always joke with people, and my dad instills into me, he's always wanted Bettinardi to be called Bettinardi Golf, not Bettinardi Putters.
G'day guys, welcome to another episode or an interview I should say on Fully Equipped. We're here with Kris McCormack, me, Wadeh, Maroun, and we've got our special guest, Sam Bettinardi. Sam, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Thank you both. Good to be here. Appreciate you having me.
Your background is much cooler than mine and much cooler than Kris's.
Absolutely.
I'm sure a lot of the internet people that are watching this are going to pause and scroll in to see if there's anything in there that's unreleased. So fingers crossed you removed everything from the back before we started recording.
I hope. I tried, but you never know. We'll see what happens. I should have the cool stuff at my work, right? I make putters and golf clubs for a living.
100%.
Absolutely. You get the cool background for sure.
All right.
So we wanted to bring you on the show. Bettinardi's been coming onto the market strong with some really great releases. And we kind of wanted to peel back the curtain and take a look under the hood as to what you guys got going on over there. Now, I know Studio B is going live, and there's been some counterparts of mine that have come through and taken a look at the new digs, and we are infinitely jealous that they got to go there before us. So we are going to work with some of your guys and see if we can get up there sometime in May, if that allows. But I mean, we've got irons to talk about. We've got wedges to talk about. We've got putters to talk about. We've got, obviously head covers. You look at your desk behind you, and there's so many goodies that I would love to dive through. But I mean, man, with a lot to unpack, where do you want to start?
We could start with our core. We could start with putters. And to your point, Kris, yes, there is a lot going on. It's been fun being here, working for my father and our team since 2012, 2013. It's been a wild ride, having been through COVID and the ups and downs of a family business and being in the golf industry, small to medium-sized fish in a big pond. But I feel like we have a lot of great momentum right now, a lot of good projects, new product releases. But it's been really, really fun and very proud of our team and proud to be here and be part of it.
That's fantastic. And the fact that it is a family business, love it. I stopped by. I tried to catch you 3 different times while Wadeh and I were at the PGA show, and you're one of the busiest men in golf. Every time I came by, I saw Dad a couple times, saw Dan a couple times, and you were meetings. But
well, it's nice to take that pressure off my father now. Now he gets to enjoy it a little bit more, and somebody's got to work, right?
That's it. May as well be you. I mean, if somebody's going to carry on the legacy that is Bettinardi, it may as well be you, Sam. You got that. I
got it. No, the show was good. I wish I could have saw you down there, but it's such a great meeting ground, as you know, for everyone, not only in the country, but internationally. I was very busy with our distributors in Korea and Japan and Australia and Sweden and Europe and Canada and South America. So a great hub versus traveling to a lot of those different markets. I was in Korea 2 weeks ago, but it's really nice to meet everybody under one roof. And, the world becomes a lot smaller that way, through Teams chats, of course, and through the PGA show. And it was great to see the show, what I would call back, right? It was our first year in 4 years. We were there in 2020. It kind of took a little hiatus, kind of seeing where things went, but a lot of great energy, the busiest I've seen it in 10, 12 years. So really, really exciting for the PGA of America and all those involved in the golf industry.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, right around that time, the buzz topic was zero torque putters. So you said you wanted to talk about putters. We've talked about putters, and I was fortunate enough to get my hands on a couple of the Antidotes, and there is one that is currently in my bag that you and your team were kind enough to make the connection for me while we were down in Florida, and it's awesome. So I got to say thank you in person. But walk us through these Antidotes, man. These things are sweet.
Well, which one are you rolling, Kris? The SB1 or the SB2?
I am an SB2 guy. Oh, of
Very
course,
nice.
of course, I had to have it with me here.
Very nice.
This guy,
Oh
awesome.
yeah, that's sweet. And you got the counterbalance. No, I think the zero torque's been interesting. Golf, I think we all know, you guys especially on the retail side of things as well. There's so many fads in golf and so many trends in golf over the last 40 to 50 years. So I've been getting asked the question the last 2 years, what do you think of zero torque? And what's your opinion on it? And at first, I would be honest and say I did not necessarily understand how it all worked. And after doing a lot of research and our engineering team involved, I do now understand how it works. And I think the technology is great. And I think the most interesting and the best part of it is that any consumer can feel that technology. I would go back, I tell customers, I liken it to the old carnival ride called the Gravitron, where you go
Yes.
in that washing machine and you have your arms stuck against the wall. You lift your arms off as the machine is spinning and your arms get sucked back, right? Because it's zero gravity. When you grab a zero torque putter or an Antidote at retail, in my opinion, and a lot of consumers, that's why they're so hot, you can take the putter back and it almost feels like it's on guardrails. It's very, very easy to stroke it straight back, straight through. For traditional putters, when you have that toe hang, the putter wants to open, right? Or through impact, the putter wants to close. I feel like with the SB1 and SB2, it's never been easier to stroke a putt. So that's why I think it's so successful. And then going back to, there's a lot of brands doing it right now. Going back to our line with the Antidote, I think we have a couple really unique features, the looks, the feel, and then the price and where it's at in the market. I think a lot of your listeners will know we make all of our putters in America. So with the tariffs going on, in the golf industry and what consumers are going to start seeing, if that stays put, you can expect very similar, if not the same pricing from Bettinardi Golf on the putter side, which is really, really cool. But our brand has always gone back to looks. If you look down at a putter, you feel confident in it, you're going to make more putts. So that may have been a barrier to entry to prior golfers trying to get into the zero torque game. Maybe they were turned off by what was on the market with a look standpoint. We're now with our stainless steel feel, what people have come to expect from putters, really beautiful looks, and then a very reasonably priced in the market. I think that's why we're having a lot of success and can't make them fast enough right now.
And Sam, just to talk about your Antidote, your square to square, your zero torque, whatever you want to call it. I've never been a center shafted guy. Like I've always found it very hard to find square when I jump into a center shafted club or a putter. What I would say, the thing I love most about yours is because the shaft is set back, but it's straight up and it's not too close to the face. I will say, out of all of the ones that I've tried, that's probably the first one where I can definitely find square before I hit the putt. They all roll really well. I always find I push everything left, where like extreme left, where yours, I found I could get it online a lot easier. So really, I feel like in the end of the SB2, like really, really great job in that, like putting that shaft a little bit further back so you can see the face, especially because you don't have that forward lean as much as other people do as well. So I do think for those people out there that are wanting to try something in this space, but get a little bit weirded out by the look and feel when they look down at something in this zero torque category, the SB2, if you want to go that mallet style, definitely does hit the mark for me anyway, in regards to still feeling like a regular putter. When I say regular putter, I mean a non-zero torque putter.
Sure. Yeah, thank you for saying that. And there was a lot of R&D that went into making that putter. And I know my engineering team would say it was arguably the hardest putter we've ever had to machine, really because of the tolerances of it, right? Where that shaft goes into that SB2 and the SB1, it's directly in line with the center of gravity. So when we started making those pieces, we didn't just push go and 1,000 pieces popped out, right? They're machined one at a time. It takes hours to machine a putter from a block of steel. So when we started testing those first few pieces, we noticed that some of them were a little bit off in terms of the toe hang or the toe being straight up and down. Some didn't work in the revealer test, right, where we wanted to make sure it was going to lock in and stay square to square. So that was a very challenging moment to be able to really dial in our machines and the tolerances of the machines to manufacture that hole where the shaft goes in, plus or minus the tolerance of a human hair. So very, very tough to set up and now to monitor and keep going. But I feel like we've nailed it. And we're starting to see a lot of momentum in that category, and it's been very hot.
And then something I think is really cool about what Bettinardi does is, and look, I've personally never owned a Bettinardi putter, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just something that I've never had the opportunity to own, and one day I cannot wait to do so. But I think something that's really cool about Bettinardi is, and I would love kind of you to talk through this a little bit, and I just found this out a few weeks ago too, was that the way you kind of look at your lineup is based on the milling that you put on the face of your putters, meaning depending on what feel you want, you're going to go after this milling. If you want a really soft feel, we're going to go after this milling pattern. If you want a harder, more firmer feel, we're going to go after this milling pattern. I find, and you have some really interesting milling patterns as well that I don't think people really talk about enough. So I think it'd be really cool to just like understand how you guys do that and how you perceive that. So the consumer, when they're looking on a Fairway Jockey or they're looking at bettinardi.com, they can make a decision on what kind of a milling they want to get from you.
Yeah, no, it's a great question because to me, most brands offer one face, right? There's only one feel, and I think that's one of the unique advantages of our brand because we own all of our own machines and manufacture in house. We have the sky's the limit in terms of what we want to do. So, my father Bob, who created the honeycomb face milling back in 1999. It was not only a completely flat putting surface compared to the traditional fly mill at the time, was concave. It had a little dish in the middle of the face. So he said to himself, why are we making putters with a concave face? You're trying to get a golf ball into a little 4 1/4 inch hole. We need that face to be completely flat. So not only did he make a flat face, but the face always also looked like jewelry, right? Mm-hmm. Now, again, 1999 to about 2008, that was his face that he writ home about. And what happened was in about 2008, there were players that were looking for softer feels because the greens kept getting faster and faster, and they felt like the ball was coming off too hot from that honeycomb face. So then the fit face was created, right? Fast forward again another 10, 12 years, we were able to create the roll control face, which not only is just about very soft feel, but has the grooves that are milled at a 45-degree angle to get the ball into a true roll faster. So to me, it's always, and then again, on our BB series is your more traditional fly milling face that what consumers are used to. It's very repeatable with our perpetual fly, and it's the same face over and over again. So I would describe our faces as honeycomb is on the Queen Bee series is firmer, still looks like jewelry. The BB series is your perpetual fly, which is kind of not too hot, not too cold. And then you go fit face, roll control on your Antidote and Innovate in studio stock, which are very soft feeling putters. And again, it's a great question, Wade. There's European players that prefer fly mill and honeycomb. The PGA Tour players prefer fit and roll control because of the speed. The amateur can be all over the map because it depends on the course they're playing at, depends on their stroke type, and that's what it goes back to. What you guys do best is fitting. You got to get your consumer and your golfer to the right feeling putter, right face milling for them to be able to succeed, at levels, amateur levels, professional levels.
Now I know True Spec, the studios that do putter fitting, the Queen Bee number 6 specifically has been an absolute home run for us. Every iteration, every redesign and re-release of that shape has been phenomenal for us. That one has been a home run. What works or what moves most for you guys on Fairway Jockey, Wade?
We see a lot of things. As of right now, I think the biggest thing that we're really selling is the Antidote, just because of how hot the zero torque side of things are. But prior to that, we see a lot all over the shop, whether it's part of the Innovate collection, whether it's part of the Queen Bee collection. Honestly, when it comes down to it, I think our customer just really enjoys. I don't want to call Bettinardi a bespoke because you're not. I know you are boutique, but you're very big for a boutique putter company, especially now that you're going into irons and wedges and what have you. But I think that when I look at Bettinardi on the Fairway Jockey side of things, it's always up there because it's not just a putter. It's a collector that's also looking for a beautiful piece of magic that has been milled. You know what I mean? That's why I think Bettinardi has such a strong following as well. If you guys did, I think I emailed you like a few months ago when you did it, Sam, when you had that video where you invited all those people over to the DC or the head office, and they could run in and kind of grab the head covers they wanted, the putters they wanted. I was like, that is such a cool thing for you guys to
You
release.
thought all those head covers were free, I think.
I did. I was like, you gave all those away. Good for you. And you're like, no.
No.
But that was such a cool thing, and you can see how much of a cult following Bettinardi has. And when we do get the limited edition stuff, like I think you had like a slushy colorway released last year, and then you had the multicolor variant where at different light it would show a different color. We sell out of those within 24 hours as soon as we get those. So for the Fairway Jockey customer, it's just based on pure loyalty to the brand. But then also, I think more and more people are starting to want to go, hey, I want to get out of these big box guys. What does Bettinardi look like?
No, I appreciate you saying that. I agree, and I think I've always told people Bettinardi is one of the best kept secrets in golf, right? Because we're still in that level where it's family owned. We don't have $50 million to go and market the brand around the country. We're very strong in the Midwest. There's certain pockets of the country very strong, but there's still a lot of people that don't know who we are, which is sad, but it's also music to my ears because I know we haven't reached our full potential. I know there's still so much room to grow. I know there's so much brand awareness that needs to happen within and for Bettinardi Golf, not only in the States, but around the world. But people love quality at the end of the day. I tell all of our team members, I tell all of our customers, as long as we have quality, we'll be in business forever. So it's something we take very seriously. We take great pride in. The fact that my office, where we're talking from, is 30 feet from the manufacturing floor, and go down and see our head covers being made, and see things being polished, painted, assembled, machined, box shipped. It's really, really cool. And quality is always the top of mind for our team, and to make sure that we're making the best. And if we're not, how do we fix it, and what do we need to do better? But that's what people love, and I think that's what they've come to appreciate and respect about Bettinardi Golf, is that it's quality and it's premium and it's made in house, made in America.
So cool. It's such a cool story, especially with where everything's going with the tariffs and what have you as well. Yes. To be able to kind of use that story, not to your advantage, but use that story to let people know that, no, we aren't just assembled in the United States. We are manufactured. We are everything in the United States. Is a really, really cool story, and very rare.
It is rare. And again, with those tariffs coming, I mean, I can say we don't manufacture everything in the States. Again, our putters are, but there's other categories. We're starting to see the bills coming in from these suppliers that are overseas. And it's like, we got to start thinking about how do we change this and look at opportunities to manufacture in Chicago at our headquarters or around the country, and have it more homegrown. And it's something that, we're taking a look at very seriously, but true to our craft and what my father created and what I'm running now. It's 26 years of made in house and American employees, that people that really care about their jobs and care about, our name on the back of the putters, that want it to be the best. So appreciate you saying that. It means a lot to us and to our customers.
And we were talking about putters, and then you had mentioned, Wade brought up irons and wedges, and Bettinardi just teased the release of a new wedge, correct?
Our new wedge just launched about a month ago, the HLX 6s. Really, really exciting. This is the 5th generation of wedges. We started in 2015. I always joke with people, and my dad instills into me, he's always wanted Bettinardi to be called Bettinardi Golf, not Bettinardi Putters, right? So we always knew we wanted to continue to expand outside of putters. That's why we launched wedges, and have had some guys on tour using them, have continued to grow our distribution, have had great testing numbers, great feedback. So I think each year the wedge line gets more robust with offerings, with grinds and lofts and finishes. And then also in performance of continuing to tweak how those are being perceived with again, the grinds and the launch angles and the spin. So I think that this year's wedge line is really, really robust. I think it's a great offering. Compared to last gen, we're seeing 10% more spin, about 10 to 12% lower launch. So it just keeps getting better and better, and we're learning a lot. We know golf clubs, we know metal, so it makes sense, and it's been a great category for us to keep growing as the short game experts and short game wizards, and now, like you said, into irons.
And it looks like you've got 2 different grinds, the C and the RJ. What's the difference between the C and the RJ?
The C is very traditional grind, very classic, and then the RJ, which stands for Bob, Robert, James, my father, more of a higher bounce option, so it's easier to open it up on those very tight lies. Again, I think to me, you could call more bounce almost more forgiving, in my opinion,
Mhm.
or again, utilizing the bounce to your advantage while playing. So those are the two options. Again, C, traditional, RJ, more forgiving, higher bounce option, easier to open up. Again, two great options. I play the RJ on my 60 just because I think it's a little bit easier when I go down to Florida and I want to open the face up on those 30-yard chips and hit it tight and nippy.
Yep.
But yeah, great feel and great performance between both.
Very
I've
cool.
got a couple sets coming for some testing here in Arizona, and going to do a write up on golf.com and have them featured in our short game edition of Golf Magazine. So
Great.
they're going to be featured in there, and I'm anxiously awaiting a set to do some testing and shoot some video content with it. Wade
Thank
was
you
with
for the
me
love.
the very first round I played with the Antidote, and
Rolled it
Wade's
so good.
feedback. Yeah, it was point and click, and it was a very good expedition of putting on the greens for sure, or exhibition.
There's a lot of things, Sam, that Chris is horrible at, and
Yes.
putting with the Antidote was not one of them.
Well, I'm glad we can turn. I guess, have you always been a bad putter? Or do we help you turn it around on that maiden voyage?
I've been an Innova guy for the last little
Yeah,
over a year now,
yeah.
and had a number six, the counterbalance number six, and had a lot of success with it. And when the antidotes came out, it was okay. I'm going to try it. Not sure I'm going to make any kind of change, because I was really happy with the putter that I was rolling, and took it out. Played my first round with it with Wade, and rolled it really, really well. And then obviously being in the equipment world and all of the custom everything, got my hands on one of the protos that I happened to find while I was perusing the putting green at the Waste Management, and still happened to be available when the Florida swing happened. So I was able to get my hands on that, and it's been awesome.
Very nice. Yeah, I liken the Antidote, and again, that zero torque. I personally use an arm lock. I've used it since we created it in 2013. And to me, that for me feels like point and shoot. It feels like you're taking all the wrist muscles and the hands out of the stroke, and you're rocking the shoulders, where the Antidote feels like, again, you can take the putter back, and again, the putter space does not want to open or close. It wants to stay square. So so happy you found some success there with that SB2.
And we have a listener base, viewer base of absolute gearheads, and rumor has it that you are a stick. So, just for everybody listening, just to validate what it is that you're saying, where's the index at right now, Sam?
Right now it's a +3. Was a +4 in the fall. I wish it was a 0. I want to be a 0, but it got down. I would attribute that. Yeah, it's hard to play in some tournaments with it, but I won my club championship again at Butler National in the fall, and me and my partner, we won the season-long member. So forced to be reckoned with out there. But no, I grew up playing golf since I've been 3. I played a million tournaments. I played at Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I was always a pretty good golfer, but I would say after college, when I stopped carrying, I got really good. I play less, I don't practice, and the game gets better. And I'd say last
Love
summer
that.
was about a +1, +2, but got 2 shots better. I would attribute the only thing to it was the irons. Our brand new irons, to me, are just so straight. I was just down in Florida. I saw Shane Battier. He's got our irons. He goes, the straightest irons in golf. So I
Nice.
think that's the word for people that have used them and are playing them right now, is they're very straight. Yeah, so like to play good golf. Wish we could play more, but 3 kids and running a business is tough. But it's amazing how that happens when you don't care, you don't try, and you all of a sudden become better.
And for everyone out there who doesn't know who Shane Battier is, he's probably the original 3-and-D guy in the NBA. So just an FY, won a championship or 2 with the Heat.
Two world champs, and then a Duke national champion at Duke. So he's a pretty good player.
There you go. Yeah, no, I have to say, when I did, I was flirting with the Bettinardi irons when they first came out. They are probably some of the easiest irons to get up in the air in that category that I've ever hit. when I hit them, I was like, "Are we sure this is a CB? Are we sure this is a muscle back? Are we sure about that?" And they were honestly probably some of the easiest irons hit and super soft. Which, from what I understand from from the putters are also very very soft and what have you in certain lines, and it just felt great. They felt supremely forged. They felt really easy to hit and get up in the air. But yeah, so I have to tend to agree with you. They are, for what you, and look and feel, the look of them are incredible. Top line looks incredible. The back of them, the eye candy is really, really good too. I feel like I'm blowing smoke up your ass here, Sam, but I promise I'm not. I don't usually go like this.
I appreciate it. You are a straight shooter. There's no doubt about it, Wade, and I've gotten to know that about you, which is great. So the irons have been phenomenal. I mean, the biggest thing for us was when we did that testing video down at Calusa Pines in Naples last March with Fred Couples. He was there for a putter video, and I asked him on the green, I go, how about we do something with our brand new irons? And he's like, okay, sure. So we go to the back of the range, and I think a lot of people probably listening to this have seen it because they're, like you said, club junkies. And he was generally really wowed. He was really impressed with them. He put them in play pretty much right away out of the get-go. He's switched around since then. But to me, having that validation, he goes, the biggest thing is the turf interaction, Sam. You guys nailed it. And then since then, a lot of our customers just can't believe how straight they are. And I would say that's a testament to our engineering of what's inside the head. Wade, the looks is so important because, again, I'm a pretty good golfer. My father's a good golfer. People around here, we love golf. We're obsessed with golf at Bettinardi. Great engineering team, but we don't want to just make a Me Too product. We want it to look and feel like a Bettinardi iron should. I feel like we did that with the clean appearance, with the honeycomb milling in the back flange. And then you take the secret sauce of what's inside each head with that ceramic matrix insert, you got a winner. So it's been literally a year almost to this day since we've been in the market, and very happy with the results thus far.
And Wade, have you seen some of the Hive releases that they've done for the irons?
I have, but my honestly, my favorite Hive release. I'm a watch collector.
Nice.
So my favorite Hive release they've done is the watch. That was my favorite one so far. Now, that's just me being me personally, but I have seen the Hive releases of what they've done and the kind of imagination they've got in that regard.
That's fun. Yeah, that Unimatic is a great brand. It's a great everyday wear. Not Rolex, not AP, but again, every day you can wear it, and made in Italy. So to me, it made too much sense to, I can't say we're an Italian brand, Italian-American brand, maybe with the last name Bettinardi, with an Italian watchmaker was really fun.
No, it was a cool release. I was very jealous I couldn't get one.
Let me know. I may have a guy.
May know a guy. You may know a guy, Wade.
Or two.
Yeah, Wade's a watch guy. He's a collector of cool things like all of us.
Nice.
Speaking of collectors, Sam, just between you and me and the flagpoles, I'm trying to get Kris over here to sell the other collection, which we won't name, and then start utilizing your brand as the brand that he collects going forward.
There we go. So you should then, if you want, like Wade said, that event, the social, that's where all of our collectors can, meet in September. Great party. People around the country and, around the world for that matter that come in and just to get to see the latest and greatest that we offer. And it's really cool. I think that was our 15th or 16th annual event that we've had. And so we have such a good community of people that collect Bettinardi goods. There's a great group on Facebook called Bettinardi Talk. There's a Discord. People talk about our product. And then we do 4 annual trips around the country. People can join 30 to 50 people each time. And again, big shout out to our community that is just the best guys you could ever ask for. Very easygoing. Love the game. All gentlemen. So really, really proud of what we've been able to build and what our community's been able to contribute to that as well.
And if you guys don't know the video we're talking about, please go check it out on YouTube because it reminds me of early 90s game shows where if you won the game show, they'd be like, here's a trolley. You've got 2 minutes to fill it and you get to keep everything. And that's what it looks like. Everyone's just mad dashing to try to fill their trolley, get all of this stuff. It's pretty wild.
That's a couple buddies of mine, Brad Sislow and Chris Carlson, speak very highly and have told me that you need to get an invite to the social and come up for that and have a good time. But like I said, hopefully planning on making a trip up there in May, and nice. We'll figure all that out. But so Studio B, new facility for you guys. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, Studio B. We've been fitting putters here in Tinley. This is where I'm calling from, our manufacturing headquarters in Tinley Park. We're about 35 minutes southwest of Chicago. And Studio B has been here since 2005. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I wanted to expand it because I knew in the back of my mind we had irons coming, and we didn't have the room to fit and have a simulator for wedges, which was already a problem, and also for irons. So that was step one, why we moved. Step two, location, Oak Brook, Illinois, where new studio is 30 minutes from Chicago. It's 20 minutes from O'Hare Airport. It's very easy to get to. It's in a great suburb with so many great golf courses. So we moved from a 1,300 square foot facility above the factory floor to a 7,000 square foot facility in the heart and right across the street from the biggest mall essentially in the country. So very thankful to be there. It's been going amazing. We have 2 putter bays, a wedge bay, an iron bay for that matter. You have the Hive where people can shop, beautiful one-of-one putters, wedge sets, irons, head covers, accessories. And behind that room is a custom room where customers can sit down and then by request sit down with our designer and design their own custom product that very day. So I think we've been able to kind of flip. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I know there's nothing like it in golf from a equipment side of things where people can go and have that experience. So very proud of what we've been able to build right in our backyard. We have a great team, great staff of people over there running it, managing it, very knowledgeable. Again, high golf IQ. So for those of you that are listening, if you're in Chicago, it's well worth the trip over to see what we've been cooking up. And from a product side of things, number one. Number two, from an experience and performance side. I mean, people go to Studio B. Some people go to just shop, and some people go there, of course, to get better. So what I love seeing is the post emails and I guess post mortem from fittings, people emailing our staff sending it to me. Hey, look at this person's note. They just, shot 4 shots better. Or they're averaging 3 shots better per round, or they just won their club championship, or they qualified for this. That's really cool to be able to make a difference because, as we all know, fitting is just crucial if you want to go to that next level.
Oh, absolutely is. I always love getting those emails and those notes when you help somebody and they shoot their personal best or hit a milestone that they've never achieved before. So it's always a very satisfying feeling.
Yes. And I would liken the studio almost to like a boutique country club with the fitting, and you're going to feel like family from the time you enter to the time you leave. So, it's been really, really cool and love what we've been able to achieve thus far.
That reference, feel like family, that was a big topic of conversation on a previous episode with Wade and I when I got back from the PGA show and we were kind of recapping the PGA show, just the experience that I had with your team when I walked over to your booth and people recognized me and they greeted me by name and, hey, heard about the move from TrueSpec over to Golf Magazine, golf.com. Congratulations. I'd love to do stuff with you. Reach out. Let us know how we can support. And it was a very different greeting than I had from any other OEM, from any other company down there. And it just gave me the warm fuzzies. And that's where,
awesome.
That's where Wade was talking about like, yeah, I think there needs to be a changing of the guard. And I kind of looked at him and I'm going, yeah, I think you're right, man. Like this was a totally unique experience and nothing that was even remotely close matched it from anybody else that I interacted with, and that was just really cool. So just a personal touch there. Yeah. That meant a lot, man. That was awesome.
I appreciate that. That's a big tip of the cap to our team. Again, I'm blessed. We have an amazing team, and I think because we're not a publicly traded company, we're not owned by private equity, right? We've had to crawl, bite, chew, and scratch for everything we got, right? It's just us, yep. And we're making it happen here. So I think that relationships, right, personal relationships, and then the servicing side of things is so important to what we do, which continues to separate us. Again, product's one thing. It's like when you're in sales, 50% of it is the product and the other 50% is the follow-up and relationship, in my opinion. So when it goes back to that, we're family owned. We treat everybody here like family, and we want our customers, vendors, everyone to feel like that as well. And it's a unique position to be in the golf world for that matter.
So Sam,
I absolutely love it. What were you saying,
Thank
Wade?
you.
Sam, really, really quickly, man. Like, so you know, I want to kind of give you a microphone here, right? To kind of just talk about what Bettinardi's got coming up in the future, what you want people to know about the brand, what you want them to hear about the brand, because there might be some people out there, as you said, that they don't know what Bettinardi is, they don't know what you do. The fact that we're talking about irons and wedges, that might shock them, and the fact that you've got a slew of head cover collections and what have you that you do behind you that is quite collectible as well. Like, what's up and coming, like what's coming on what's in the hopper for Bettinardi going into 25, 26, and then what's something that you want just this group of listeners that we've got to know about your brand. Like, here's a microphone and have at it.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think for consumers, to me, to know about our brand, it's to know that the name Bettinardi is the owner's names on the product, right? I think that's really different. I'm looking at this raw putter right here, but again, it's got my last name on it, Bettinardi, and that I want people to know that means something. That's just not something that was just quickly made and mass produced. It touches probably 18 to 20 different people's hands, right? And just to quickly walk through that process, the metal coming in, being cut from the guy in the saw, delivered to the operator in the machine, delivered to quality, delivered to polishing, delivered to quality again, delivered to the paint room, who delivers it to assembly, who delivers it to cutting, gripping, boxing, shipping, to quality again, to out the door. I think that's really cool. And again, I want our whole staff and team of employees to know, for that matter, and they know, because that they're putting their touch and they're putting all their attention in knowing that the owner's name's on this product, and they really respect quality. So for people that are just hearing about us, we've been in business 26 years. We have 100 professional wins in that time. 5 major championships on the men's side, 2 on the ladies' side. Our product's been validated for that many times from a wide variety of players over decades, and we're fighting upstream against the big boys. So to me, again, if I had that $50 million, we'd be in a more broadly known, but it's still music to my ears. I'm 35 years old and going to keep pounding it and trying to take market share away from everybody else out there. So I think if those consumers are listening again and they hear about us, when you're buying Bettinardi, you're buying quality, and you're buying the best, and you're buying a product from people that will put their name behind it, will stand by it. And it's not just something that we quickly drew up and wanted to bring to market. It's something that we take our time in testing, developing, and making sure it's the best. And how do we keep iterating on for future generations, Kris? Like we were talking about our wedges, it would have been very easy to change the graphics and press go again, but we took our time to tweak the leading edge, right? Hey, we had feedback from people; they wanted a little bit thinner. The heel relief on the sole. Let's not make that more of a special grind. Let's make that into the C grind. Let's lengthen the neck on the seat to increase the CG to get the launch lower. So we're constantly tweaking and perfecting the product we're making to be able to bring the best to market. And then in terms of what's new, Wade, I can't give all of our secrets away, but I can tell you we're all systems go. We're growing. This year's been a great start to the year, adding people left and right to join the team. In terms of product, it's going to be a BB series year next year. Okay. So I think people would come to expect that. That should be December, January again. And then I think with our irons that launched last April, you may see something. I think that'll be an extended cycle until we feel like we have something new. Again, it's only been a year. So to me, our engineering team's working on, we have a great product. We know it launches extremely straight. We've seen that against all the other brands in golf. I want to tweak a couple little things here and there from a cosmetic standpoint, but what can we do to increase some numbers in terms of distance, right? That's where I think we can gain. Again, we got the launch, we got the feel being forged, we have the accuracy. How do we get a little bit more yardage? Or like you guys said, you thought it was more of a player's iron, right? And it wasn't too much of a it looked more of a 5 handicap or less, and maybe not market as well to the 18 handicappers out there. So maybe attract some of those guys while not alienating the plus and scratch handicappers. So again, we have a mindset of continuous improvement and be the best you can be, and that's what we want to do.
Love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then the degenerates out there like myself and Wade, you have that little extra that you can go and you can design your own one-of-one piece of jewelry, like you kind of said, that just gives it that little extra touch, which is awesome. That's
It's
so
cool. I mean, there's so many projects. People will come into the studio and, hey, my dad's turning 60. I want to make him a custom putter. I'm going on a bachelor party and we want to do something for the groom. I want something really cool that you guys don't offer in your production line, with a top line that's 400 gram counterbalance. Like the equipment junkies that love extremely niche things that their buddies don't have, and they want a true one of one, whether it's a special face, guys like you, special face milling, special finish, special meteorite, damtanium, Damascus inlay into the head. You name it, we can do it.
That's so cool.
And one more thing to hit on too, just in terms of, you talked about the covers or what's new for next year. We've been buying more machinery for our in-house embroidery and head cover department. So we're constantly working on ways to improve the look, feel, quality. I know it's there now, but we can always do better, right? You have your Masters flag and Masters hat on. Kris was just down there during the practice rounds, and Augusta National, the Masters, is a great example of continuous improvement. And I heard a great story from a former chairman who talked about how he talked to some members after the tournament, and he said, what can we do better? Right? That's amazing, because that organization already does everything at the highest level, but they're constantly finding ways to improve upon what already is, in our minds, perfect. So again, with our head covers, which I think are the best in golf in terms of look, feel, design, we want to keep elevating that. And again, I think from everything I've said, I think you can understand why, and that's the goal.
And that's just hypothetically, definitely not talking about myself. If somebody were to be interested in doing a one-of-one putter, what kind of price range does that typically set in compared to a retail model?
Yeah,
I mean, I know the world is the oyster with materials and things like that.
Yeah, the production putters that we offer, right, that are Fairway, Jockey, True Spec around the world, are $400 to $450, and custom putters start at $3,000, and it goes up from there based on how complex you want it, right? If you're looking for a Queen B6 with a top line, with a polished finish, really, fly mill, face milling, you don't want the honeycomb, and you want the wizard on the sole dancing, and you want something else that's bare bones. But if you want a Queen B6 with a tie-dye PVD, twisty neck with meteorite, and you name it, some kind of intricate face milling, you maybe 3,800. But nobody else in golf is doing this, and I think we have a great concierge service that makes sure people's dreams come true. And then on the quality side of delivery, we're delivering something else nobody can get. So it's really fun. And if anybody that wants to try it, you should contact the Hive at Bettinardi.com or come see us at Studio B Oak Brook to make it happen.
Awesome. I know that our trip in May is going to be sponsored by Visa and MasterCard from the sounds of it. So
Amex, Visa, cash, Bitcoin, you name it.
Love it. Love it.
Sam, I really appreciate you jumping on and having a chat with us. I think this is going to be great for people to understand, who Bettinardi is, what Bettinardi is doing, and where Bettinardi is going. I think it's really cool to kind of shine a spotlight on this medium-sized business, and I really do hope that this gets more people into the brand, people that have been questioning whether they want to get into it or have never heard of it before. Very much go check them out at bettinardi.com and see what they've got, and go to a True Spec if you want to get fit for Bettinardi. Come to fairwayjockey.com if you want to just buy some stuff as well. But I love the brand. I love where you're going. I love how it is part of your DNA. Like, you go to the website and you go, why do they do a watch collaboration? Why they do this? Why they do that? It's like, it's because you can, because it's your brand, it's your family. And if you like watches, exactly. And if you like watches, Sam, why not? And if your dad likes whiskey, why not? It's really up to you, whatever you want to do. So once again, I appreciate you coming on the show. It's always a blessing to have someone like you come on and just talk to us about what you're doing, and really, very, really very much appreciate it, because I know you're a busy person.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate both of you guys having me on, and it's been a great year. Let's keep rocking.
Sounds good. On that
Absolutely.
note, guys, till next week, peace.
See you next time.